Wolves will be very happy to be at home against the Spurs side that has a couple suspensions
It's
and
hectic.
an injury to James Maddison
And a red card to Romero.
and a red card to Romero, who's been very good in
Have you
defense.
ever seen
Romero has been having the
insanity
worst
of a
luck.
football match?
Never. That London derby will go down in history as one of the craziest London derbies you've ever seen.
Indeed.
Say what you want about Ange Postecoglou.
Postecoglou.
Should have just
Say
said
what you want. He is entertaining. Huh? This is an entertaining Premier League season. Thanks.
Well, he's
to
the
him.
only manager that came out and said VAR. He was for a VAR, and actually, But
And,
people are saying,
Easy.
And Mauricio came out saying that coaches need to just get on with it.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he
And
won.
allow the because he won.
I mean, when you start to...
Don't say it like coaches are bitter.
But no, they are being critical of a system that was supposed to come in to assist, but in case it's making matters worse.
Yeah.
VAR, and I think we sat here and said, I think it was with the Liverpool situation. We said VAR is called a video assistant referee for a reason.
Yeah.
But it is not assisting. It's now video.
Error. Assistant.
No, then it's going to be fair.
VER, exactly.
Yes. I was trying to look for a word. But
Video
let me
as-
not use that one. It's fine.
Anyway,
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see if this is the beginning of the end for Spurs run as like title contenders, because I think many people would have thought, they're not really going to go and win it, are they? And I think this is now, so this last week we saw Arsenal and Spurs ending their unbeaten runs.
Unfortunately, the manner in which it happened.
These last
Marco, why do you
couple
put it like
Yeah.
that? They didn't end them. Their unbeaten runs were ended by other people.
I mean, it's the
I
same thing, is
apologize.
it not?
Semantics.
Hey, bro.
Marco,
Anyway, what
Oxalate,
I'm
the-
trying
the-
to
the
what I'm
unbeaten
trying
run
to
is not
get
there
at,
anymore.
what I'm trying to
Yeah.
get at is,
Excuse.
as the Premier League stands to this day, it is too competitive, I believe, for any team to achieve that ever again.
Yeah, I know it's difficult.
I believe that Arsenal will be the only team in Premier League history, as long as I live, to achieve the invincible status.
Yeah, I know.
And that was many, many years ago.
And that was some time ago.
Yeah.
Crystal Palace versus Everton. Let's move on.
Wait, but what are we
what
saying?
is
Are we
Spurs-
saying Arsenal is actually winning against Burnley, considering how many
Yes.
injuries
Yes.
or questionable injuries they
Aye,
have?
Arsenal will win that. It's Burnley
Arsenal
and
is
at
winning
home at the
against
Emirates.
Burnley, yo.
And I think Wolves will stifle Spurs. Spurs are going to struggle with suspensions and injuries.
Okay.
And I think they're going to struggle without James Maddison. And I think Wolves are actually going to win that one.
Could this be before you move on, Marco? Could this be like the dip, the beginning of a dip for Tottenham?
A little dip. No, I'm not saying anything crazy. And I think when the season started, will Spurs have been thinking we need to be top 4?
Yeah.
No, I think they're like, we need to start recovering, maybe be top 6, whatever. And I think they will achieve those goals by the end of the season. But I think that they will finish perhaps top 4. They'll be competing for it.
Say why I'm asking that. We are facing now a very critical stage of Premier League,
Very critical.
where fixtures are going to be bumper to bumper, and whoever comes on top in January traditionally goes all the way.
Except if you are Arsenal.
Well, except if you're Arsenal, you're not.
Because the last minute.
So it will be
anything
interesting
can
to
change.
see how Tottenham do. But I think with James Maddison injured and all the other guys and Romero's red card, I think they're going to be in trouble. I think they're going to lose. They're going to drop a few more points.
So my reading of it is they're going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at Wolves. Because if you look at their next couple of fixtures, they've got Wolves, they've got Villa, they've got Man City, they've
Villa,
got West Ham, they've got Newcastle. Out of all those fixtures, you'd want to get points against Wolves, considering the others.
Other teams, yes. I agree with. That's what I'm saying. I think it's gonna be a rough patch coming up for Tottenham. It will be interesting to see, but I don't think they're gonna get maximum point out of those fixtures that you just mentioned.
Crystal Palace taking on Everton. Everton on the rise, on the up, coming back. Early game on a Saturday. We speak about Crystal Palace on a Friday night being a tough place to go to. Crystal Palace at the moment. I saw someone posted something really funny about Jordan Ayew. And it's someone posted about Jordan Ayew playing the most consecutive fixtures of almost anyone. So as in he's fit and available for teams more than any other player. And then someone put there, unfortunately, for Crystal Palace.
Wow. But what has he done
look,
for Crystal
Everton-
Palace?
Okay.
He's been there, a stalwart. He's been there, available. He's been playing games.
Look, I don't think he's like a standout player. He has been a standout player that we known him to be, you know.
I think Everton can try sneaking a result. They've got a mixed bag of upcoming fixtures as well, because next is Man United. I mean that they can win, surely.
Wow.
What?
What did I do?
Okay.
What did I say?
Continue.
Anyway, and then they've got Nottingham Forest after that, and then 2 toughies in Newcastle and Chelsea.
Okay.
Yeah, interesting.
So out of those, I think they will fancy themselves against Palace, Forest, and United.
Away at Palace.
Yeah, it's not a lunchtime kickoff, and
So in their last few results where we feel that they've performed well, they did get an away win at West Ham. They got a home win against Bournemouth. They somehow lost to Luton at home. They lost to Liverpool away, which was understandable. And they got that very impressive draw against Brighton at home. So the impressive win away to West Ham is what stands out. But it seems like the 2 fixtures where we say, okay, they're on the way back up is a 3-0 win against Bournemouth at home and the 1-1 draw against Brighton at home. So I wonder if away from home at Crystal Palace, if it's as easy for them. And then, like you say, their next fixture coming up will be against Manchester United after that. So it should be interesting. They will be at home against Manchester United, who I think are dying for away games because they are struggling at home. And that's actually the next fixture to pick up on. Is Manchester United are taking on Luton.
Come on, Luton.
At home.
Come on, Luton.
Luton is another one that I was pleasantly surprised at and how they performed last week.
Yeah, they're not a bad side, are they?
No,
Are
no.
they?
I think the threads are starting to thread
Okay.
for Luton. In the
Okay.
beginning, again, it was like, have I ever made the giraffe analysis before? So when they started in the Premier League,
mean
they were
analogy?
like
Nah, you've
Like
done
a baby
it.
giraffe.
yes, like
Don't
a
do it
baby.
again.
Yeah, it's okay. Let's
So like that's what Luton are. So slowly, surely
They're gaining their
they
strength.
like, you know, like, okay, cool. We're learning how to travel. Okay, the intensity of Premier League matches is not the same as in the Championship. Okay, cool. We need to almost like measure points. Like, okay, cool. We can try our hand at Sheffield, maybe at Everton, maybe at Bournemouth. Da 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 da.
But I think what's going to be key, and let's get to the actual game rather than Luton and Man United overall, is that Luton will be coming into this one thinking if we can frustrate Man United for 30 minutes, the crowd will start getting on their back because obviously Man United fans are really frustrated at the moment. If they can stifle Man United, which is very possible even at Old Trafford at the moment, if they'll know that if you can keep it solid, keep the game a little bit dirty, get a little bit aggressive, get them a bit raffled, and try hit them on the break and get Man United fans fearing for losing another game, they've got a chance in this fixture.
Yeah, definitely. And I think they will, with the way, like we said, with the way United have been playing, they will fancy their chances. And there's a level of bravery that I've seen them approach games in recent matches that they didn't have at the start of the season.
Yeah.
You know?
And also being at number 17 will give them that confidence boost to say,
There's
you know
nothing
what,
to lose.
if we win the next game, we are closer to
Yeah, well, with
we're
draws
closer out of danger. Sorry?
Yeah, like how Everton got out of the danger zone to, well, not the promised land per se, but you can call it the promised land.
Yeah, but I don't see Luton winning against Manchester United as much as they might have had a lucky break last week. But I see Manchester United coming home with a win. Well, staying home with a win.
Well, they're on 6 points with that solitary win.
Yeah.
And 3 draws and 7 losses, keeping them tied 17th place realistically. Only on goal difference are they ahead of Bournemouth. That anything could happen and slip them right back into the relegation zone.
Yeah.
So I think Luton's going to be one of those that we're going to watch all season, along with Sheffield United and Burnley, where we're going to be watching them sort of playing with relegation all season. I think,
I think Bournemouth will come out of it. I think they're experienced enough to be able to get themselves out of that danger zone.
They're the next fixture, seeing as we're speaking about Bournemouth, and they're hosting Newcastle at home, who are just coming back from a difficult trip.
Maybe I spoke too soon.
Yeah, you actually did.
Bournemouth, they're coming, but look, Newcastle are coming back from a difficult Champions League excursion. Bournemouth, the form they're in, Len, not going to present too much of a problem for this Newcastle side, are they?
No, I doubt it.
Bournemouth just aren't in good enough form to really stifle Newcastle, are they?
They won't. And if you look at Newcastle, from where in their past 3 very difficult fixtures, they won 2 out of the 3, but they lost one that they would have most likely would have loved to win out of all the other 2 that they won in terms of stature of the competitions. So they'll be looking to bounce back, to be like, hey, guys, keep your heads up.
But let's also be fair to Bournemouth. I mean, their last 2, if not 3 encounters have been against, some of the best. They had to play City, they had to play Liverpool. So we can't then go and say that.
Well, let's put it this way. Okay, the goal difference issue we understand because they've played against Manchester City in recent weeks. But the only win they have so far in the Premier League this season is against fellow strugglers Burnley.
Yeah,
it's like
if you're struggling,
when Newcastle is coming to town and you say, have Bournemouth caused any problems for any of the bigger sides as yet? And you look at it and you say, they drew against a poor Chelsea side and they drew on the opening weekend against West Ham. But since then, they've caused no problems for bigger sides. Liverpool getting wins, Spurs getting wins, Brighton getting a win, Arsenal getting a big fat win, Everton taking a big fat win against Bournemouth. I think this is like the safest bet that we've gone through so far.
You're right.
Is that good Newcastle side traveling to Bournemouth, they're going to bounce back.
I agree. And considering that as much as it's actually the opposite side of the spectrum, whereas Bournemouth has been playing, relatively big teams and not doing well, whereas Newcastle playing Arsenal, playing Manchester United and coming home comfortably with a win. Obviously, Champions League, Dortmund was going to be a bit of a challenge. So, and they're confident after this Arsenal loss that was very controversial, which did a lot of things. I'm sure they are very confident, so they're going to come in there with guns blazing.
Let's move on to the Sunday fixture before we go back to Newcastle versus Arsenal. I think I'd like one word on that from Len. But Aston Villa hosting Fulham, another guarantee.
Yeah,
Villa's home form, Fulham not very good. Yeah. Brighton against Sheffield United, again, another guarantee. Sure, I'm going to make money this weekend, baby.
It's an easy Brighton.
Hey, Brighton at home to Sheffield United. After playing very well in Europe this week as well.
That's a win. That's
straight up. Liverpool at home to Brentford.
Tricky, but Brentford
can be
Brentford can change.
Brentford can be tricky.
Exactly.
But I think Liverpool at home.
I don't know.
And also, having lost in the Europa also because of VAR, it is said. Somebody said they went to France to lose.
To lose.
See what you just said.
Liverpool for the win.
Okay,
Klopp
so
will be looking to bounce back.
What's the drama
here's
with Mo
Brentford's
Salah?
last 3 fixtures in the Premier League. 3-2 win against West Ham at home, a 2-0 win away at Chelsea, and a 3-0 win at home against Burnley.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Brentford
can change it, but I think Liverpool might stick a comeback.
The same Liverpool that drew against Luton and went to Paris to lose.
And they almost lost that game against Luton.
France to lose.
Yeah.
They did.
It was
I say
very
Brentford
close.
is taking this one.
Okay, so we're talking about Liverpool's away form, which is where they've been losing games, right?
Yes.
So they went to France, lost the game, drew away at Luton, drew away at Brighton, lost away at Spurs. Their last 2 home fixtures, Liverpool against Everton, a 2-0 win. Liverpool against Nottingham Forest, a 3-0 win. Liverpool against West Ham at home, a 3-1 win. Losing away at Wolves, winning 3-0 against Aston Villa at home, winning 3-1 against Bournemouth. They got the best home form in the Premier League this season. And I think that's why I would back Liverpool to win this fixture, even though Brentford can be a tricky one. Their home form is insane. Super Sub?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think Liverpool at home, they are you could be leading, but you know in the last 5 minutes they can just sneak it in and then take the win, you know. So I think they're very consistent, and yeah, I think they're gonna take it.
Yeah. West Ham, bit of a hit and miss team. You know, we were thinking great things of them earlier in the season, but then now we're starting to see some of the cracks in the armor with West Ham. You get cracks in the armor. Guys, come out. West Ham cracks in the armor. They are at home to Nottingham Forest on Sunday at 4:00. Guys, thoughts?
West Ham will win the game. It's also one of those, they're against Nottingham Forest. Yes, Nottingham are, well, the two of them are actually, I think, neck on neck. They're like, one is number what, the other one follows on the log. So they're not that far off from each other. But I think David Moyes being David Moyes, he has a way of turning it up when you least expect it. And West Ham will be playing at the London Stadium. They'll be playing at home. So
I actually say win for Nottingham.
I say West Ham.
I say I wouldn't bet on this game because I would normally traditionally go with West Ham at home, right? You expect them to do well. But looking at West Ham's recent form in the Premier League, a 3-2 loss to Brentford, a 1-0 loss at home to Everton, a 4-1 loss at Aston Villa, and then a draw against Newcastle. The last time they won a football match was against Sheffield United at home,
who's
got no teeth, right? And then before that, they had 2 losses before that game. You have to go all the way to the 1st of September for them to have a win besides that one against Sheffield United. And that was away at Luton, who weren't in very good form
so
at that stage.
So they're collecting points against all these strugglers.
West Ham really struggling outside of Europe, of course.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why I say Nottingham win, considering how unwell they have been doing. Luton is actually, but they'd rather come home with a draw. They'd rather come home with 1 point as opposed to 0.
Speaking of draws, it's something that Nottingham haven't been bad at. They beat Aston Villa at home. Great result. They lost, got thumped, traveling to Liverpool. We know that's what happens when you go to Liverpool. But before that, 3 draws in a row.
Yep, exactly.
This one might have draw written all over it.
Exactly. Luton, Crystal
West Ham
Palace,
at home.
and Brentford.
I still think West Ham at home will pull off.
Yeah.
They'll pull off a result.
Okay.
I won't argue with you there, but I also won't be placing money on that one. I think it's too up and down. And then Chelsea, who are on the up, feeling good, feeling confident, gonna lose all those confident feelings at home to Manchester City on Sunday night, the fixture of the weekend. As Super Sub, I'll hand it over to you. Manchester City fan, scared of Chelsea?
No, not even. I think it's gonna be an easy.
Because Chelsea are the same bad team, like they haven't improved as much as you would have liked, or because Man City are just that good?
I think Manchester City have found their form right now. You know, during the season, Manchester City goes through a dip. They'll draw, maybe lose 1 game or 2, but from there on, they get onto the gear, and then it's just like smooth sailing from there on. And I think right now Manchester City have found the gear, and I think Pep is gunning to finish on top come the end of the year.
Finding the gear to come into the space, Manchester United could be picking up their old goalkeeper.
Oh, Nana.
What's my name?
What's his name?
No, I think the bridge will be collapsed once again. City are just too good. Chelsea, for me, yes,
Still in transition.
they might
still
have
in
won by a
transition.
big margin, but I still don't see what I can't identify what team is playing in front of me.
I think Chelsea looked good because Spurs fell apart. And
Yeah.
Pep Guardiola will not he will not be naive and let his team fall apart the way that Angu Postecoglou. Like I said, it was entertaining. And he says, like, my team will always have a go, mate.
Yeah.
So I think that Chelsea would need a lot of resolve, a lot of cunning, and a lot of technical, tactical, everything to go right for them to get anything against City, let
I
alone
agree,
a
and I
win.
don't think they're there yet in order for them
they're
to
still
go
in
up
transition.
against. Yeah, no.
So tough.